Hello, this is Anne of Alamo for the Lily Pad with the Mixed Media Monthly, known as the M3. Today is your tutorial, or what I'm going to like to call your Learn, Not Earn. There's no monetary prize or coupon, but it's learning a new technique that hopefully you'll be able to use in your mixed media pages and in your everyday regular scrapbooking. And so what we're going to do today is paper piecing. And what I wanted to try to do is to make a hot air balloon. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the ideas. What I did is I just Googled hot air balloons on hot balloon art. So you can see we all know the shape of hot air balloon. I grew up in Napa, California, and they have hot air balloons every Saturday. And I now live in New Mexico, and we have lots of hot air balloons. I love this because it gives an idea maybe for your background. And you can see it's just cut out. This is done with regular hybrid cutting out by Simeon, it looks like. And then I like to look at little kids' art when I'm going to do hybrid, or not hybrid, but mixed media, because their brains aren't filled with everything from this world, and they sometimes just have the best ideas. And so you can look at these balloons and see what they've done, and then there's more collective. This is just different ideas to throw at you, how you can use your own imagination, looking at how balloons are made. They all have little pieces that go down almost like a funnel for the heat to go into. So there's all these different ways, and just to spark your imagination, that you can make your own hot air balloon. Now you can use any of the mixed media products that you want. 60% I believe is what they want for any challenge, but because this isn't a monetary one, I don't care which ones you use, but I love the papers from March, so I'm going to use Marches, and I'm going to start off with my yellow banana, I call it. I do my pages are all in 10 by 10 because that's what I print. But today we're going to be just like we had a pair of scissors in our hand and we had this yellow piece of paper right in front of us. But to cut, I use the polygonal lasso tool. I am in CS5, but I know that this tool was in Elements 14 and most of the CS, your polygonal tool. So if you look on your tool, it might be your magnetic, but you want to get the one without the little magnet. So I know I want my balloon. It's going to have a circular shape and maybe a tube, but if it doesn't have a tube, I'm going to be okay. So to start, you can pick anywhere. I kind of like these colors in here, so I'm going to just click and start. Every time I click, it makes an anchor point. See this? And I'm going to do the middle of what I'm going to use for my balloon. Click, 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 double click. This will bring in your marching ants. As with your marching ants, now you can copy or cut. I like to copy and keep that original in case I need it for something else. So this is my middle for my balloon. I'm going to bring in another piece of paper from the March. This is one of Paula's papers. The first yellow one was one of Nancy's papers, which the ladies we have are blowing my mind. So I'm going to go ahead with my polygonal lasso tool once again, and I'm just taking from the middle this time, going a little bit wider and coming in each click, and see how I'm just kind of staying with the edge, because this way I can overlap or put it underneath the yellow. Double click, marching ants, copy, and I'm going to take this paper again because I like the paper, and I'm going to move it. There's so much going on in this paper that I want to add a little bit more and keep that red on there too. Back to my polygonal lasso tool. And I'm starting off on the edge, coming around. Gonna close it off a little bit more. Same thing, staying with the edge. Click, 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 anchor point. Click, 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 anchor point, and double click. Marching ants, copy, and make the paper visible. Now you can see I've kind of got it's working, and then I want to add a little bit more of like a diagonal on top of it. So I'm going to pick up this paper also by Paula, and all I'm going to do is just go up and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, and then do the same thing. Click, click, anchor point, click, click, click. Looks a little bit like Charlie Brown's sweater. Click, 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 double click. Double click, copy, and make that invisible. So now I have a little bit more of design. I'm going to move my papers so that they're at the bottom. I still have them in case I need them. And I'm going to take the 3 layers of the balloon and pull them out a little bit to go with my diagonal. Okay. Now with this, to me it looks like a big mishmash. But I want to take each layer, and one of the things in art journaling that's really fun to do after you've cut out a lot of paper is to take on the outside edge and just either paint on the edges or use a marker, and you just go on the edge and it's going to make a dark line on the edge that kind of bleeds into the paper. So if you go to your effects, now your effects might be a pull down screen, and you're going to look for inner glow. And you'll have a layer style show up here. I change it to multiply, and I want to change the color. I'm going to use like I'm using a marker, and I'm going to take this green because that's the color I want on here. So if I had a marker, that's what I would use, and I'm going to bring the size in, the inner glow, and I'm going to bring it down just a little bit. Do I have that in the middle? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so there it is. You can see it when it's by itself. See how it's like darkened or burned on the edge. And so I'll do the same thing again with the red on this side. I'm going to hit effects. And oops, sorry, I want inner glow. Eep. I'm going to clear that out with my styles. I go, excuse me, to inner glow. I change to multiply, and I want to use the red that's on here to close it off. And I'm going to make it just a little bit deeper. See that? See how I can go way deep, but if I go just a little bit, it's almost like I took a marker all the way around. Okay. And now if I want it on the same color over here, I can hit Control Copy Layer Style, come to that side, and paste the layer style. So now you can see it, and I'm also going to do on the little diagonal cutout I did, I'm going to use the same green, copy the layer style, go to the diagonal, paste the layer style. There we go. And so I like that. So now my balloon is starting to get more shape to it. So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, gosh, do I like it like that, or do I want to flip? Whoops, I didn't get everybody in there. I'm going to take all 3, and I like to play with it. Do I want it smaller, bigger? Oh, so what I'm thinking, I kind of like it like this, and I can move my banana so it's behind, which I think I like a little bit better. So I'm picking up that glow now with those. And so I could bring it in still. And so now that is paper piecing. Now, this is to make your own balloon. And I wanted to show you, this is how my balloon, how it finished up. And I had used a darker color. And I used some of the markers, the shapes that were also in the M3, and just added the thing with this is you can do, this is just, I did a real quick one, but see if you can make your own hot air balloon using paper piecing. And this is of your own delight. Like I said, you can do 1 balloon, 100 balloons, but instead of just using a template, let's see if we can cut out our own paper pieces to make our own art this week. And so I appreciate you watching and following along, and thank you very much, and hope you have a lovely day.